Frontline is made possible by contributions to your PBS station from viewers like you. Thank you.
This week on Frontline, we take a closer look at Transcendentalism in America with Joshua Weinstein, an inspiring transcendentalist who has been living in the woods for the last 27 years and now plans on coming back to society to share his campaigning ideas as he runs for president. We are now at the woods where Transcendentalist Joshua Weinstein has been staying for the last 27 years. He built this house himself in these very woods with all the surroundings. It's going to be very interesting meeting him for the first time.
I've been expecting you.
Joshua Weinstein, Christian Cole of Frontline. We're looking forward to your interview.
As am I.
Well, why don't you show me around a little bit? To find out more about Joshua Weinstein, we went back to the beginning, to the Precious Children Orphanage, where he once used to live before he ran away to nature. This is the orphanage where it all happened. This is where Joshua Weinstein once lived before he ran away to nature.
Josh was very different from the other children. He was much more connected to nature, wasn't doing all the regular activities.
How did he interact with the other children at your establishment?
We had a lot of outdoor play and things that he just never wanted to play other games the kids were. He was more interested in trees and the grass and the ground. He wanted to be more to himself, not really around anyone else.
Was there at any point that you could tell he was a transcendentalist?
We always knew he was a little different, but we never thought of being a transcendentalist.
What was your initial thought when he ran away from the orphanage?
You know, we just really thought it was what was right for him.
Only the finest birch. Now, along with birch, it's made of oak, maple, and ebony. Really, it gives me a good combination of air and insulation.
And you made this all by yourself, correct?
Yes.
Roughly, how long did this take you?
I'd say roughly 10 years, maybe 11 years. Took a little while, but you know what? She's stronger than ever.
It seems like a great living place.
I love it. I could live here all my life.
Well, let's go back to the studio and ask you some questions. Why did you become a transcendentalist?
Well, you know, I always felt I had a connection to nature, and I decided to really take advantage of that and just become a transcendentalist.
Who are some of the role models that inspired you to do this, or still are inspiring you?
I really follow the teachings of Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau. You know, I've read Walden, Thoreau's book, 45 times, and every time I read it, it just gets better and better.
So, living in the woods and going through with all this, how has this changed you?
Well, I feel more connected to nature, and I feel like a better person just because nature inspires me, and it teaches me, leads me the way, and tells me what to do. So I feel like a better person.
And now you were in the woods for 27 years, correct?
Yes. And 3 months.
Do you know what this is?
This is some sort of nature device. There's only one button.
It's an iPhone by Apple, actually.
I eat apples.
Yeah. Okay. Well, so how do you feel about being considered an atheist by many?
You know, transcendentalists really believe that all our souls are part of one large oversoul, and that is what leads us. And those people call me atheists, they don't know what they're talking about.
To find out more about Transcendentalism, we brought in an expert, Dr. Henry Emerson.
Transcendentalism was a literary movement during the 19th century where authors really talked about individuality and independence. It really affected the literary movement, a lot of literary pieces. But nowadays, people follow it really without even knowing what it is.
Who were some of the major figures of the Transcendentalism movement?
Some of the biggest starters of Transcendentalism were Ralph Waldo Emerson and Henry David Thoreau. And then there were some other literary authors like Emily Dickinson that also followed the movement.
Joshua recently announced his intentions to run for president. We spoke with him more on the matter. What are your campaigning ideas that you plan on doing?
Well, I really believe that government should have as limited a role as possible. So, really, I would do nothing.
So you want to run for office to do nothing?
Yes, that is correct.
How do you think some of your campaigning ideas will go over with Americans?
I think Americans would be, apprehensive at first, but they would embrace it. Once they really find out the true meaning of Transcendentalism, they can't say no to it.
Do you think there is enough Transcendentalism already in America?
There's always room for more.
Some political analysts have called some of your ideas irrelevant and outdated on Twitter recently.
Twitter, like the birds, they tweet.
No, like they tweeted on Twitter. Like
the birds didn't tweet about me. How dare they tweet about me? I'll have a word with them.
So recently you were on the Even Later show with Soft Davidoff. How did that go?
I thought it went great.
I think. Do we have a clip of that? Can we roll that?
And now, your host, Soft Davidoff!
Yeah! Hello, everybody! Welcome to the Late Night Show. Today, my guest is Joshua Weinstein, Transcendentalist and presidential candidate. And here he comes! Give it up for him! Take a seat, take a seat. You were in the woods for how long?
27 years.
Boy, that's a long time. What did you do for 27 years?
No, well, I really spent most of my time, identifying what nature is. I spent a lot of time hugging trees, building my cabin for 10 years, of course, very difficult. Really, I just got in touch with nature.
What is your campaigning strategy? Like, who are you trying to target here?
Really, everybody. I feel everybody needs to know about Transcendentalism.
Everybody?
Yep.
So, what party are you in?
Transcendentalism.
That's a party.
It is to me.
Jim, please, could you... Is that a party, Jim? No, it's not a party. Okay. So what are your campaigning ideas for this election?
Well, I really believe in a limited government, abolish slavery, and no military.
I hear you put slavery in there. We already did that. So you have like a checklist? You can check that one off. Good. You said you wanted to limit government.
Yes.
And take out the military?
Yes.
Let's just talk about Pop-Tarts, because the crowd doesn't like this. What is your favorite flavor?
Listen, the crowd doesn't know what they're talking about.
Here we do popular vote.
Well, the majority isn't always right.
Yes, but to be elected, you need a majority to vote.
Well, I don't think the majority is right.
This is coming from the guy who, once he gets in office, won't do anything, and so I can't have nothing to look forward to. Jim!
We actually have a projected polling of how we do against the other candidates. Can we get that up on the screen? Can we? Now, how do these stats feel?
Well, it's a little disconcerting, but, Americans need more Transcendentalism. And once they discover what I am, they'll embrace me.
After finishing poorly in the presidential race, Joshua found it best to go back to the woods. Maybe one day, just one day, America will be ready for Transcendentalism. I'm Chris Giacola with Frontline PBS.
Tonight.